T.W.T.N.E family. This is your host Aaron here. This is Times with the Narcissist Explained. I know it's been a while, been a little bit under the weather, but I'm recovering. Today I wanted to bring out some content to talk to you guys about how narcissists induce stress hormones. Okay. Now I have some notes here. The stress hormone that we're going to talk about is cortisol. But before we get into cortisol, I'm going to talk about 4 happy hormones that occurs within the human body. All right, so the happy hormones are serotonin, dopamine, endorphin, and oxytocin. All right. So dopamine basically is a chemical released in the brain that makes you feel good. How narcissists manipulate that hormone is through the love bomb. They give you so much praises, so much validation. They uplift you and make you feel good about yourself, right? Another hormone is endorphin, a chemical that makes you feel good and is used to relieve pain. So a lot of times endorphin is the hormone that's used to help nullify any kind of pain that you're going through. So these are hormones have different uses for the human body. Oxytocin is the hormone that regulates love, pleasure, connection, and affection. Narcissists in that department, they lack oxytocin. Okay, the hormone that regulates love, pleasure, and connection and affection. A lot of narcissists are pretty heartless. They don't show you affection. You can do so much for them. You can buy them a brand new house. You can buy them a brand new Range Rover. You can buy them a brand new Cullinan with some rims on it, with the refrigerator in the back. They cannot connect if they don't have that oxytocin in their body. And the final happy hormone is serotonin. Located in the gut, it's a feel-good hormone, plays a role in lowering anxiety and depression. So basically with the dopamine and the serotonin, the love bomb is what brings those hormones out. But at the end of the day, it's all manipulation, it's all control. All right? But the main hormone that we're going to talk today is cortisol. All right. So what is cortisol? It is the primary stress hormone. It increases sugars, glucose in the bloodstream. So basically, whenever someone is stressed out, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. What does cortisol do? It is produced when the adrenaline is pumping. It is used to control blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and increase metabolism. So basically, cortisol is a defense mechanism in your body. So when a narcissist is stressing you out, it instantly brings out that cortisol. But here's what happens when there's too much cortisol being produced in your body. And mind you, cortisol is produced from certain glands at the top of the kidney, the adrenal glands, okay? So when there's too much cortisol being produced in your body, here are the side effects. It causes type 2 diabetes. Why? Because cortisol it increases sugar and glucose in your bloodstream. Too much of that can overweigh the amount of insulin that's being produced in your body as well. So those who are watching my channel who are diabetics, you all have been through a lot of stress in your life, and that's probably the reason why you was able to have that disease within you, And we'll talk about ways to try to relieve that, because it's true when they say that when you cut off toxic folks and you live a less stressed life, it helps you out greatly. It really helps you out greatly. So too much cortisol, here are one of the side effects. Weight gain. Too much cortisol can cause weight gain, particularly around the abdomen and face, okay? So too much cortisol can cause someone to gain weight, can cause someone to have type 2 diabetes, acne. Some of y'all been around a narcissist and had bad breakouts, on your face, on your chest, on your back, on your collarbones. That's what being around stress does. Too much cortisol being produced. Your skin is thin and fragile, and it's slow to heal. Yes, it can also reduce the toughness of your skin when there's too much cortisol. It makes your skin real easy to peel type deal. For women who dealt with narcissistic men, you end up with facial hair when there's too much cortisol. Irregular periods. You wondering why your periods are so intense? Too much blood is coming out. It's too much stress that you're under. Too much cortisol in your bloodstream. That's what narcissistic men and narcissistic women do to men as well. Now, there is a such thing as not enough cortisol, because we need cortisol to help balance out our bodily function, right? So when you don't have enough cortisol in your body, you're continually tired, you're nauseous, you're vomiting, you lose a lot of weight fast, you have muscle weakness, and pain in the abdomen. So now let's look at some ways to reduce cortisol and help balance out your hormones, right? Now, I brought this message today to speak from a scientific level, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, whether they know it or not, they're altering your hormones. It could be a hormonal imbalance. There's a lot of other side effects to having too much cortisol, like pH balance be messed up, headaches all the time, frequent migraines. The list goes on and on. But here's how to balance out the cortisol in your bloodstream. Number one, eat a whole food / plant-based diet. Try to reduce eating sweets all the time or eating a bunch of sugar. Try to be light. Eat, more salads, more fruits. Eat the natural sugars. Eat the natural stuff that's good for you, that can repair cells and help balance out your hormones. Take deep breaths. There's this meditation that I do. I inhale and I hold it for 5 seconds, and then I exhale and I hold it for 5 seconds. And I do that like 10 times to try to regulate my blood pressure and things like that, especially when you're under stress, when there's too much cortisol in your bloodstream. It's a good way to help balance out your hormones. Reduce caffeine intake. Believe it or not, coffee is pretty acidic. So when you're dealing with caffeine, the best caffeine to get is green tea. Green tea is natural caffeine, and it's not as overpowering as coffee is. Coffee has way too much caffeine in it, especially when you mix it with sugar and creamer. It tastes good, but it imbalances your hormones. It produces more cortisol in your bloodstream. That's why sometimes when you're laying in bed at night after you drink some coffee, you can't go to sleep. Your heart is pounding. There's too much cortisol being pumped. Your body's trying to flush all that stuff out. It's kicking your body in overdrive, basically. Number 4, get some rest. If you're working too hard, try to get some rest. Try to relax. Number 5, exercise. It's important to exercise and get your body acclimated to the elements. Balance out your blood pressure. There's a lot of health benefits when you exercise. Number 6, write in a journal. Some people like to journal, write in your diary, write some lyrics. Help write down the stuff that's bothering you, or things like that. Number 7, find hobbies. What are some good hobbies? Cooking, writing, learning, research some things. Gardening, photography, dancing, playing chess or checkers or board games, drawing, sewing, gaming, things that you like to do in your leisure time. Do that more often if you're feeling stressed. If you play the clarinet, play the clarinet. If you play the drums, play the drums. If you play the tuba, play the tuba. Put it in a location where it's not too loud. You know what I'm saying? But hey, enjoy life. Do hobbies. It'll help reduce down your cortisol levels. All right. So I wanted to bring that out to you all. Scientifically, what a narcissist is doing, when a narcissist abuses somebody, they're increasing cortisol levels, cortisol hormones in the bloodstream. Too much sugar, glucose in the bloodstream. So when you cut people off, you start to take care of your health better. It helps reduce the production of hormones in your the cortisol mainly in your bloodstream. All right. So I hope y'all found this educational. Sorry if my voice sounded a little messed up. I'm kind of under the weather right now, but I had to come out here and pump some content for you guys. But listen, I love y'all. I hope you enjoyed the content. And y'all be safe out there, man. I love y'all, all right? Bye-bye now.